Do you have any? Oh, here's one thing I did this week.
Yeah.
I have my third chakra opened.
Oh,
Yes.
goody.
It's open now, man.
Dope. How's it feel?
My power
Does
center.
it feel different?
Well, I was operating at 1/3 power before, and now I'm at full power.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
So-
did. I did sense a more powerful aura.
No, so it was.
He said facetiously.
So it was interesting, and I am intrigued by all these things. And I sign up for
Yeah.
all of these things
You do.
frequently. This was a recommendation of someone that is into this world, and so I went. And it's an interesting dude. He's got charisma. He's got. No one would argue that this person has something, and whether you put it in energy terms or just personality terms, you're at ease immediately with him. You like him immediately.
Did he take Charisma University? How did he do it?
How did he do it? But he must have pirated it.
Yeah.
So he's an interesting dude, and according to him, he senses energy flows, and it flows from your root chakra all the way up, and people get events in their life that shut things down and mess up the energy flow. And so he poked around and went, oh, third, okay, we're gonna do this. Lean back, deep breaths, breathe. It was interesting. There was one moment that was psychedelic in nature, which I thought was pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
It was. Now, we weren't doing heavy breathing. It was 3 breaths in, then breathe out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 3 breaths in, breathe out without heavy breathing beforehand. And I was in. I was like, okay, good. That's pretty cool, man. I'll give you that. Now,
He also slipped you acid.
and there's nothing to measure at this point.
Yeah.
So I can't.
How do you feel? Do you feel different? Does it feel?
I feel fine. I sent Grace. She walked out convinced that it was real, that he had done something. She cried and this and that, but she always cries and those sorts of things. So I remain unconvinced but interested is what I would say. And so
Yeah, you're an open-minded. You're critical but open-minded.
yeah.
Whereas I would say I am skeptical.
Yeah. Well,
Like I go in thinking I'm going to look for why this doesn't make sense.
So I have that in me too, and Grace doesn't. So when I speak to her, I have to explain to her what a cold read is, because he does a lot of cold reading, which is, okay, so is your dad a tough guy? It's like, okay, like 60-70% of dads are going to be brusque, tough guys that don't know how to show affection. They were born in the 50s. That's what a dad is. And oh, so she's Asian. You come from an Asian background. It's like very like limited with loving expression. Like, okay, that's a cold read.
Sure.
And then, of course, he misses some of the cold reads, which you forget about immediately.
Right.
And if you're not paying attention. So there's definitely some cold reading going on, but he, to his credit, is a better cold reader than most, as are you and I. We can talk to somebody and go, something happened in their childhood with their mother or their father or this, and be right 80% of the time, because we've seen the patterns, as has he. So I'm familiar with a lot of the ways that you can create amazing effects, predict amazing things. Yeah. So there's a lot of cold reading going on, which is cool, and I'm open to it. I think what often happens with a lot of the new agey stuff is that it has grains of truth in it, that they are capable of creating trance-like states, that people cry, emotional shifts occur. All of these things, which are undeniable because they're experiential, happen. And the explanation given is often a reach. Yeah. So I'm doing this because I'm tapping into the collective unconscious, and I'm open to that. But if that is the case, then you should have X, Y, and Z powers, which you claim. You should be able to predict these things about me with higher certainty than you're capable of. So you should be able to tell me about my childhood and what the name of my street was if you can go into my past and look around, right? But of course you can't do that. You can only do things that have
You can tell I had a tough dad.
You can tell he wasn't even that tough. Yeah, he was a man's man, right?
Yeah.
So
ooh, I hope he watches the podcast. He'll really enjoy that you just called him a man's man.
You think so?
Yeah, you don't say much nice about him.
Is that nice? See, you think that's nice. That's the difference. He's a man. That's good.